Keep an eye on these injector readings for me. Let me know if anything changes immediately.
Yes, Chief. Right away, Chief.
Franklin, what did I tell you about these antimatter output readings? They cannot vary more than 0.8%. I need you to make sure that happens.
Yes, Chief. I was just about to reset the injector output parameters.
Very good.
Captain, we are approaching the location.
Helm, take us out of warp. Slow to 1/4 impulse as we enter the system.
Slowing to 1/4 impulse speed, Captain.
Main viewer to forward view. Commander Barat, you may initiate your system scan.
I have identified the source of the spatial anomaly, Captain.
Helm, full stop.
Full stop, Captain. Fixing position with maneuvering thrusters and compensating for the drift.
I'm observing random subspace energy fluctuation dead ahead.
Dr. Erickson, stand by. Helm, all ahead, dead slow, thrusters only. Dr. Erickson, you may launch at your discretion.
Commander Barat, I've engaged the probe.
Affirmative. Probe is launched and recording is live.
Signal is coming in strong. Wait a minute, I see ionic radiation, and the wave differential is distorted. I've never seen readings like these before. Signal is lost. Commander Barat, can you confirm?
The probe has stopped transmitting.
I appreciate you helping my team with this research project. I know that it takes you away from Kennedy Space Center.
It's my pleasure. The work you're doing here is very interesting.
Here's what I was talking about. It's unlike any organic material I've ever encountered. It destroys anything made of cellulose.
We're lucky it doesn't like animal matter, or we'd really be in trouble.
Right. I've done all the analysis that I can, and it seems to be a fungus. It acts like a fungus, but it doesn't fit into any of the 5 phyla of fungi.
That is very interesting.
The strange thing is, this organism is alive, but it is not carbon-based. The cells are made of silicon. Now, carbon and silicon are similar, and silicon is very abundant in the universe. What did my team found down by the impact site?
There wasn't much left. Whatever crashed was some form of artificial satellite. And looking at the weathering, it happened within the last year. Do you think it's possible that this has anything to do with this fungus?
I hope not. If it is extraterrestrial in origin, we are in for trouble. This could be the end of all life as we know it.
Is there any way to eradicate this?
I've tried everything to kill this thing, and nothing works.
Professor Baker, can you come look at this, please? I'm sorry, but there's not enough left at the impact site to conclusively determine what the object was. The metal we recovered was much lighter and denser than anything we've encountered before. Probably some new form of alloy.
Were you able to find anything that will help you identify it?
I was finally able to clean one small piece of material. However, there were no identifying numbers on it. I did find a symbol.
What kind of symbol?
I'm not too sure. It doesn't correspond to anything in the database of spacefaring countries. Here, take a look.
Professor Baker, what were the results of your field test?
It was everything that we feared, Dr. Schofield. There's absolutely nothing in our chemical or biological arsenal that will affect the fungus.
Did you confirm that the fungus is entirely silicon-based?
Yes, that is confirmed. We also found an impact site near the area where the infestation started. It was some form of artificial satellite. There was not much left of it. However, we did recover an odd symbol on it. I sent you a picture of it. Our biggest concern is that this fungus is of extraterrestrial origin.
I received it. Unfortunately, I can't be of any help in identifying that symbol. Thank you so much for keeping me updated. I will continue to work on the fungus from my end, and I'll keep you posted on anything I find out.
Thank you, Dr. Schofield. The fungus is spreading faster than we first thought, so time is getting short to find a way to combat it. I'll be in touch soon. Baker out.
This is worse than I first imagined. How could we have let this happen? There must have been some form of contaminant present inside the probe when we sent it through the rift. Aurora, please respond.
Yes, Dr. Schofield. How can I be of service?
Aurora, are you still in secure mode?
I am in secure mode, Dr. Schofield. My database is encrypted on your server, which can be accessed only by you.
What were the results of the astral spectral analysis I asked you to perform and the comparison search from the NASA database?
I compared the specific spectrum signature from the silicon-based species of fungus you provided and compared it to the NASA database. The source is the Kinger system located in the Orion sector of the Beta Quadrant, approximately 70,000 light years from Earth.
Oh boy, that's exactly what I feared. There is no way for me to find the natural antagonist here. I am going to have to find a way to go back to my lab on Earth, back to my universe. I think there I can find the spore I need to stop this from destroying the entire planet Earth. Aurora, create a new file. Call it Wormhole Development Project Alpha.
The new project file has been created. Dr. Schofield, will you want a description for the title for this project?
Yes. Classify it as a doorway back home.
Hey, Dr. Schofield.
Just a minute.
Hey, I checked the electrical output, and you should have sufficient power for your device, as outlined by the schematics you provided me.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Engineer Ross, for being here and helping with this project. I know this is normally your downtime from your Spacegate Station assignment, and if there had been anybody else available, I would have asked them.
Not a problem. I really enjoyed your research project, although I have to admit I didn't fully understand it.
It's just a small project having to deal with photon generation.
Well, your little project requires more energy than several of the buildings on the Kennedy Space Center campus.
Okay, then it's a medium-sized project, let's just say.
Okay, well, if that's all you need, I'm gonna head over to the party NASA's throwing. Today marks the 10th anniversary of the takeoff of the Space Launch System, the most powerful rocket ever created. Did you know it led to the Artemis 1 moon mission and the future of all space exploration, including Spacegate Station?
Have fun!
You should come! All of Spacegate Station's crew's gonna be there.
Thank you, I appreciate it, but I've really got to finish my experiment.
And they're gonna have a toast at the exact time that the space shuttle launched, which is in 10 minutes. Well, 10 years ago, but I better hurry.
Bye! Aurora, what were the results of the last power sequence?
The power-up sequence followed all the identified theoretical parameters you inputted. Dr. Schofield, may I ask the intent of this device? It will make it much easier for me to evaluate the system's operation.
Of course, Aurora. This is my prototype of a mass and energy generator. It will warp the fabric of space-time.
Processing. According to Einstein's theory of general relativity, the configuration you have established should allow this device to modify the energy flow within a subspace conduit and potentially allow for the formation of a tunnel or wormhole. This tunnel would connect two separate points in space-time, or possibly between parallel universes.
I'm hoping for the latter.
Dr. Schofield, wormholes are extremely unstable. Even a single photon passing through the wormhole could trigger a catastrophic cascade that would rip the wormhole apart.
Ordinarily, yes. However, I'm introducing negative mass to counteract and stabilize the effect of regular matter passing through the wormhole, making it traversable.
Interesting. I am not familiar with negative mass generation.
That's because it hasn't been discovered yet. At least not for another 100 years. Okay, Aurora, I believe we're ready to begin our test. Adjust the semiconductor system so it synchronizes with the microcavity optical system.
Dr. Schofield, the microcavity unit has confined the identified frequency of the light stream to a standing wave. I am showing the excitation within the microcavity has transitioned the standing wave of light and created hybrid particles made up of photons.
Excellent work, Aurora. Please keep modulating the power stream. We don't want a cascading effect to occur. I am seeing the presence of neutrinos, ionized hydrogen, theta band radiation waves. It's working. A wormhole is generating.
Dr. Schofield, I confirm a micro wormhole is developing. Dr. Schofield, we have a problem.
Can you please report on the nature of the problem?
I am detecting a large buildup of tachyon particles in the wormhole subspace conduit and quantum level fluctuations.
We've got to stabilize this. Power the system down slowly. We don't want to cause a cascading effect to occur.
I am sorry, Dr. Schofield. There is a significant graviton surge developing in the generator capacitor. It is going to discharge in 21 seconds. I have no way of changing the path of the surge. It will enter the micro wormhole.
We have got to stabilize the micro wormhole so that the microton gravitational surge does not occur.
Power surge in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Where am I? Where's my lab? Aurora, come in. Aurora? Aurora, please come in. Oh, this thing is trashed. The last thing I remember was the generator went haywire. Maybe it transported me somewhere. I better figure out where I am and get back to the lab so I can fix this thing. Oh, great. No signal. This place looks familiar, but I just can't seem to place it.
Hello? Excuse me, lady. This is a restricted area. What are you doing here?
Astronaut Collins, is that you? What are you doing dressed up as a security guard?
Do I know you, lady? I haven't been referred to Astronaut Collins in over 10 years. You don't look familiar.
We work together at NASA. We were assigned to many Spacegate Station projects together.
NASA? Are you kidding me? NASA shut down over 10 years ago. You don't look familiar. I don't remember anything about a Spacegate station.
NASA shut down 10 years ago?
You look like a scientist, but everyone knows that over 10 years ago, NASA's expensive SLS program, it exploded and it was destroyed, and that ended space travel.
No NASA? No space program? We never went back to the moon?
Of course not. That's when I lost my job. I have a friend of mine that works at Kennedy Space Center, and when Audit Max bought them out, I was able to get hired.
What have I done?
I mean, you look like a nice lady and all. And this is what I can do, okay? My shift gets over in a little bit. I can offer to take you home. I don't have my car, so I have to call an Uber, but no cost to you.
You don't understand. I don't have a home. I changed everything.
Well, you know what? I think we need to stop and get some cups of coffee, and you can tell me all about it.
You don't understand. I changed the past. I changed the timeline.
Oh, this is going to take several cups of coffee. Give me a moment. Let me call for that Uber.
And that's when the wormhole generator exploded. And I found myself in that warehouse, and everything had changed.
So you're saying it created an experiment with a wormhole generator to the past, and then a shockwave occurred, and that destroyed the NASA SLS system. That ended the space program.
Exactly.
And you're also saying that I'm Commander Collins of the space station that's orbiting the Earth?
Yes, and that's only recently. Prior to that, you were the most famous astronaut pilot in NASA's entire history.
Well, I like the sound of that.
So I must figure out how to reverse what I've done. I've got to find a way to set this right.
Well, you know what? I think I believe you. I don't think you're crazy or anything, but isn't there a way that you can just create that wormhole generator? Don't you have things back at the warehouse?
Oh, sure. Except I don't have the AI, Aurora, to help me. And I would need an astrophysicist, an engineer, a communications specialist, and a computer hardware designer.
Here you go, Emily. Will that be all?
Thanks, Vic. We're good.
Aren't you Professor Marini?
I used to be 10 years ago, but no one calls me that anymore. When the SLS blew up and NASA ended, scientists were a dime a dozen. Luckily, I had enough money saved to open this coffee shop. It's not like exploring the deepest parts of the galaxy, but it's fun, and I get to meet new and interesting people.
I am just so sorry that happened to you.
Don't be silly. It's not like it was your fault.
You know what, Dr. Schofield? Vic keeps in touch with a lot of our friends from NASA. You think you can get in contact with some of them for us?
I have Rebecca Miller's work address. She used to oversee the computer design division of NASA until it ended. She's now a CTE specialist for one of the local school districts. I'll go get it.
Professor Miller would be perfect, but I still need an astrophysicist, a communications specialist, and an engineer.
Well, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. I think we should go ahead and find Rebecca Miller. She'll be able to help us find the others.
That's a great idea.
You know what? I'll get us an Uber. Great. The Uber driver is just a couple minutes away. He must have been in the neighborhood.
Great, let's go.
Here you go.
Well, Vic, how much do I owe you?
Forget it. Besides, I'm pretty sure you haven't paid one bill in my coffee shop since I opened it.
That is true, but it would be impolite not to ask.
Thank you for your help.
It was my pleasure.
Well, Dr. Schofield, I do have a question for you. Why didn't you change like everyone else?
Oh, that's simple. I came from an identical parallel universe 200 years in the future. I changed your timeline, not mine.
That definitely makes sense. Why didn't I think of that myself?
Hello, my name is Philip. I'm going to be your driver today. What's your destination?
We need to go to Abbott Elementary.
Engineer Walker? Is that you?
I'm sorry, do we know each other?
You know what? That is Engineer Walker. He was the top aerospace engineer at NASA. He was over the SLS program.
Wow. I haven't been called Engineer Walker in, over 10 years. Yeah, I oversaw the SLS and the Artemis program, but when it blew up, NASA ended everyone and everyone blamed me. I was forced to retire.
I am just so sorry that happened to you.
Oh, don't be silly. It's not your fault.
Well, Dr. Schofield, we found that aerospace engineer that you asked for. Philip, start heading to the address that I gave you. Dr. Schofield has a great story to tell you.
I've been doing this job for a while, and I can tell that I have seen and heard just about everything.
Well, I just might surprise you.
Well, you can give it a shot. Unless you're an alien or something, you have got your work cut out for you.
You're not really an alien, are you?
Of course not. My parents were born in Iowa. However, I was born on Proxima B in the Alpha Quadrant, about 4 light years from Earth.
I had to ask.
Are you sure we're in the right place?
Yes, this is the school.
Good morning, students of Avis Park Elementary. This is Miss Barber filling in for Miss Long. I have several announcements this morning. First, we would like to congratulate the winner of the What School Would Be Like on the Moon essay contest, which was little Yvonne Spinner from Miss Baker's 4th grade class. Congratulations, Yvonne. Also, we have a missing robotic dog that wandered off from Miss Miller's office. He answers to the name Chip. If found, please notify the front desk immediately. Lastly, we apologize for all the commotion this morning, as well as the school lights coming on and off. Our district engineer, Miss Ross, was working on a problem with the electrical system when she became trapped in one of the ceiling conduits. Oh. The fire department was able to successfully help her get out, and she is fine. Thank goodness for that. This concludes our announcements for today. This is Miss Barber signing off. Good morning. Can I help you?
Specialist Barber? Is that you?
I'm sorry. Have we met before?
We worked together at NASA when you were a communications specialist.
Wow. No one's called me Specialist Barber in almost 10 years. I'm sorry. I don't remember working with you. Maybe it was during the SLS and Artemis program before it exploded and NASA folded. You know, after that, I couldn't find work anywhere in aerospace communications.
I am just so sorry that happened to you.
Don't be silly. It's not like it's your fault.
Well, looks like we found our communication specialist. Mrs. Barber, we are looking for Rebecca Miller. It is urgent that we speak with her. I mean, really urgent.
I don't know. It's during school hours and you don't have an appointment.
Well, listen, I'm a sworn officer. You see this here? It's a national security matter. We need to speak with her immediately.
Wow, that does sound serious. Well, Miss Miller's in the Career and Technical Education Research and Development Annex attached to the school. I'll find someone to cover for me and I'll walk you over there myself.
Thank you.
Okay, just give me a second. I need to get you some passes.
I thought you were a security guard.
I am. My company is national security.
You said you were a sworn officer.
I am. They made me swear I'd be a good officer when they hired me.
Here you go. Just follow me.
Just don't let anybody get too close to look at that badge and ID.
Are you kidding me? This thing is amazing. I get half-price coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, too.
Miss Miller. These two ladies would like to speak to you.
Emily Collins, National Security.
We need to speak with you right away, in private. It's extremely important.
Yeah, sort of like your end of the world stuff. You know, like a cross between the movies Interstellar and Armageddon.
Armageddon, I love that movie. Bruce Willis is amazing. He's my hero.
And so, that's when the generator exploded. And I found myself in that warehouse with everything changed.
Yes, that's where I found her. I took her to Vic. He told us where we could find you.
So it was your experiment that led to the end of the space launch system, which destroyed the space program.
Exactly.
So let me get this straight. In the real timeline, Miss Miller is a chief science officer of a base on the moon and a famous AI developer, and I am a communications specialist on a space station that's orbiting the moon?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
I know I can fix this and set everything right.
I think I believe you. I mean, you don't look crazy. You seem fairly intelligent. Can't you just rebuild the wormhole generator?
I can, but I can't do it on my own.
You know, we have an engineer, who's willing to help us.
But I still need the two of you and an astrophysicist.
I would love to help, but I don't remember any of the astrophysicists from the old days.
Hey, Emily, do you remember Dr. Carafano?
You know what? He was one of the top people in the astrodynamic division. I think he will be able to help us out, but I just don't know where he is.
Oh, I do. He works for the school district.
Well, then let's go get him and fix this timeline.
You know, I have a better idea. We'll need equipment in order to repair the wormhole generator. So, Dr. Schofield, if you give me a list, Mr. Walker, Miss Barber, and we can actually go and get the materials and meet you back at the warehouse. And meanwhile, you and Miss Miller, you guys can go and look for Dr. Carafano.
I agree. It's better if we split up.
Thank you all so much for believing me and taking on this nearly impossible task.
Are you kidding? The biggest mistake this country ever made was turning its back on space exploration.
Well, we all know that humans are driven to explore the unknown.
Well, you're right. It's our job in order to make this correct. We need to change the past and secure a future in space for our kids and us so they can inherit the legacy.
I think I'm gonna cry.
Well, hey, you can save that crying until after we fix this wormhole generator and we change the past and we secure the future.
But if we change the past, I won't remember this happening. And then I won't remember to cry later.
Really?
I'm just saying.
So, Dr. Schofield, do you really think we can pull this off?
Well, I know we can fix the wormhole generator. That's not the issue. The issue is, can we figure out what caused the graviton surge, fix it, and reset the timeline? I hope Dr. Carafano can help us fix it.
I'm sure he can.
So, where are we going?
Oh, to an elementary school.
Does he teach there?
Sort of. I'll explain on the way. Would you like to say goodbye to the children who are watching today?
Goodbye to the children that were watching today.
You're so silly, Robbie. Professor Miller wanted you to say goodbye in a unique way.
Very well. Adios, todos niños que Esteban Miranda hoy.
What am I going to do with you? Goodbye, kids. I hope we get to learn with you again sometime.
This concludes this instructional lesson for today. You are welcome to view other instructional lessons from Spacegate Station on a variety of subjects. Terminating communication.
All right, children. Well, thank you so much for watching our video and learning about what it is to be an engineer and to design things. So, Ms. Ross and I now are going to work with you in allowing you to build what you think your own special house would look like. Okay, Ms. Ross, if you go ahead and take over.
Dr. Carafano, do you have a minute?
Rebecca, it's so great to see you. It's been a long time. How was that elementary book project you were working on?
I gave up on that years ago. Hey, do you have a minute for us to talk somewhere quiet?
Yes, here, follow me. There's a place over here in the corner we can go.
I would like to introduce you to someone, Dr. Carafano. This is Dr. Schofield, and you need to listen to her very carefully. You're going to find this hard to believe, but it has to do with the accident that happened to the SLS 10 years ago.
Well, let me give it a guess. Dr. Schofield was conducting an experiment where she was trying to modify the energy flow through a subspace conduit to create a micro wormhole. She was probably trying to establish 2 points in space-time and create a connection between two parallel universes. You were probably trying to use negative matter to stabilize the wormhole. There was probably a buildup of tachyon particles in the subspace conduit, which created a graviton wave that entered the micro wormhole, exited 10 years in the past, and completely destroyed the SLS on its launch.
How could you possibly know?
Well, it was the most probable explanation based on the data I received from the SLS and its destruction. I tried to convince my co-workers and the people at NASA, but no one would believe me. Eventually, the SLS project was canceled and NASA followed right after. I knew, though, someday someone like Dr. Schofield would arrive on the anniversary of the SLS explosion and be able to answer my questions.
How did you possibly figure out that I was trying to connect two particles from parallel universes?
Well, Dr. Schofield, actually, it's your presence that's the clue. If you were from our timeline, when the SLS exploded and everything was changed, you would have changed with the rest of us. But because you didn't, it means you must be from a parallel universe. Probably one very close to ours, but much more advanced, at least 200 years in the future. You were probably trying to figure out a way to get yourself back home.
I told you he was one of the top people at NASA.
Well, clearly he figured out what happened. The question is, can he help me figure out how to fix it and make things right?
You see, Dr. Schofield, this happened to you today. But for us, this happened over 10 years ago. And I've used every one of those years trying to figure out not only what happened, but also how to fix it. The only thing I've been missing is you and your technology.
I've got a team assembled. I'll go get the car.
Thank you, Dr. Carafano, for being willing to help me figure this out and fix it and set the timeline right.
Oh, I'm more than happy to. You know, Dr. Schofield, what do I do in this new timeline?
Oh, you are the chief science officer on a space station that's doing research orbiting the moon.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I bet I miss getting to teach kids about science, though.
You still will find time for that.
Well, in that case, let's go fix the past so we can get back to the future.
I'll go rev up the DeLorean.
Well, that about does it. I can't thank you all enough for your help. Walker Collins, where are we on the power systems?
Well, everything's been rewired to the warehouse power system, so I should be able to monitor the power usage from the transfer station.
Yeah, and I rechecked all of the connections and the electrical output. You should have more than enough power for your device based off of the parameters you gave us.
Great. Barber, where are we with the emitters?
I was able to realign your emitters according to Dr. Carafano's specifications, and according to this, that should change the frequency of the standing waves of light and modify the hybrid photon particles so that they align properly.
Miller, do you copy? Ms. Miller, were you able to realign the communication system with the interface to the network and change the output calculations so that they align with Dr. Carafano's updated calculations?
Almost done. Just need to make a few minor adjustments to the interface of the network system and we should be good to go.
Copy that. Well then, it looks like we're ready to go.
Excuse me? I'm really glad we were able to fix the wormhole generator, but how is that going to fix the mistake that changed the timeline?
Well, you see, Miss Barber, when Dr. Schofield experiment created a micro wormhole, tachyon particles built up in the subspace conduit. This caused quantum level fluctuations.
That then caused the gravitational shockwave to occur and hurl us into the past.
And yeah, that destroyed the SLS, and that changed our timeline.
What we're going to do is generate a subspace tensor matrix to reinforce and create a more stable wormhole, and then overlap the prior wormhole with the new wormhole.
That will reinforce the wormhole I originally created, prevent it from blasting into the past, and send it somewhere else out in the universe.
I will take your word for it.
I'm good to go. I'm going to remain here in the network room to monitor the systems. We shouldn't have any problems, but I'll let you know if we do. I think that the system should be able to monitor the data flow. Good luck and Godspeed, Dr. Schofield.
Copy that. Places, everyone.
Roger that.
You got it.
Hey, Dr. Schofield? Hey, I just wanted to let you know that the microcavity unit has confined the identified frequency of the light stream in a standing wave. I'm showing the excitation within the microcavity has transitioned to the standing wave of light, and it's created hybrid particles made up of photons.
Good. Dr. Carafano, please keep modulating the power stream.
Subspace tensor matrix is forming, and it's stable.
I'm reading the tetryon wave. I'm seeing neutrinos, ionized hydrogen, theta band radiation. It's working.
I'm detecting a small buildup of tachyon particles in the wormhole subspace conduit, but there are no quantum level fluctuations.
Engineer Walker, please increase the power supply.
All right, Dr. Schofield, we're giving her all she's got, but I don't think she can take much more.
Yeah, the power output is max, and the power conduits, they're starting to overheat. You know, I need to go check the inputs and see for myself.
It's a good idea, but you be careful in there. It's a lot of juice running through those lines.
This is it, Dr. Schofield. It's now or never. I see the original graviton surge forming in the micro wormhole.
I am forcing the gravitational wave back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dr. Schofield, I confirm a micro wormhole is developing.
Aurora, shut down. Shut down the system immediately.
Shutting the system down, Dr. Schofield. Is there a problem? My data shows you successfully created a micro wormhole.
I think it worked. I'm back. No, Aurora. There wasn't a problem, but there was going to be.
I am confused, Dr. Schofield. How could you determine if a problem was going to occur before any evidence supporting the existence of such a problem was available?
Let's just say it was based on prior experience. Aurora, what's the status of Spacegate Station?
Processing. Spacegate Station is presently in synchronous orbit around the Moon and operating along normal flight parameters. The primary crew is presently stationed at Kennedy Space Center during their standard Earth rotation. The backup crew reports all systems are nominal.
That is great to hear.
Dr. Schofield, there's a great party going on right now.
And we are not going to sit idly by and let you miss this great party for some experiment.
You know, it's extremely important that you have some fun in order to recalibrate your life.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, come on. The three of us are going to rescue you.
The three of you already have. Let me power down my experiment and I'll be coming to the party.
Great. Let me set my watch in T-3 minutes.
Come on, we have to get back to the party. I don't want to miss karaoke. Engineer Ross promised to sing Rocket Man with me.
That's going to be a great sight to see.
Don't forget what Albert Einstein used to say. You've got to take a break if you want to make a breakthrough. Dr. Schofield, is there anything I can do to help you get this experiment put away?
No, trust me, you've already provided more help than you'll ever know.
Well, in that case, I'll see you over at the party. Don't take too long.
Dr. Schofield, do you plan on performing any more tests today?
I think I've done enough for one day, Aurora.
Do you wish to keep this file open?
Yes, Aurora. Keep the file open. We've still got a lot of work to do. We've got to finish this prototype and build a full-scale model. I've still got to find the doorway back home so I can undo the damage I caused with the probe and save this planet.
Affirmative. File shall remain open. I hope you can find what you are looking for, Dr. Schofield.
So do I, Aurora. So do I.
Captain's log, stardate 4731.3. The Enterprise is approaching the last reported position of the starship Defiant.
We can barely read it, but I don't like the looks of it.
Captain. Visual detection of an object dead ahead.
Magnification 256. Magnification 18.56.
Captain, I'm getting something on the distress channel.
Tie us in.
Tied in, sir.
Defiant, Erickson here. Not sure if you can hear this, but I want you to know the mission was a success. Good luck, Defiant. It's been my honor to serve. Erickson, out.
Open a channel to our nearest command base. Quarter-hour reports on our position and status.
Yes, sir.